Welcome to Deck Talk, where you will be prepared. Deck Talk is a weekly show where we bring on pro players, deck creators, commentators, anybody who's trying to make Hearthstone the best rising esport in the world. Today we have a returning guest. You may have seen him at WCA or on his stream doing some rather interesting, unique things. He is the man who is, well, just down out crazy with the acidic swamp ooze. The one, the only, Noxious.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much.
Alright, so it's been a little bit since you've been on the show. Last time you brought us that nice little sea giant shaman deck that later
Tell me about it.
that led to some fanboy rage and also kind of became the bot shaman.
Well, I think it might have been the bot shaman before that.
Yeah.
I just hadn't realized how... I don't know. Anyway.
And thank you, Blizzard, for the bans. We appreciate it.
Yeah, the bots are gone. Well, no.
No, they're not. Some are gone. Some of them. So yeah, that was really nice. Glad to see that. And apparently a couple people I knew who were actually using that, and I didn't know that they were using it, got banned, and they were complaining, like, I just got banned. I was like, well, then stop using a bot.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen a lot, like, I'm going on casual a lot when I play Rando and Rin, and I'm noticing a lot of accounts now have basic cards.
Yep.
Like, I face a lot of them now.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Alright, so let's do a little quick recap. Last time you were on here, we had the fanboy rage. Shortly thereafter, your computer explodes.
Yeah, that did. It totally did. And then I had to do a good WCA where, you know, I just threw games against Kit Kats, and then I came back and I had to wait, like, what, 2 weeks before the computer got rebuilt?
Yes, you did.
And now I'm back to streaming, finally.
Yes, yeah. And you actually have a really nice setup, lots of power.
Yeah, a very, very sick one. Yeah, I'm happy about that. It's a bit overkill for Hearthstone, but hey, I'll be damned if that won't last me forever.
Yeah, it's like 1 billion times more powerful than you need for Hearthstone.
Yeah, I could run like a trillion clients. More than I can actually handle multitasking for.
Yeah. So, by the way, thank you for that. I have been able to say that the quality of your stream has increased a little bit too, as well. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I noticed it myself.
All right, cool. All right, so now, how are you liking this meta? We had Hunters rise and fall, and then we had the resurgence of Priest yet again. Warrior Control really got a foothold in this meta, and it's just been really interesting.
Yeah, I'm loving the Warrior Control. I like Warrior Control metagames because, as I've said before, I think Warrior Control is one of the few decks that's always good, but the differences between good and great players, yes, there's the play, but there's also the tweaking the deck sometimes. Like, you just swap one card out, and it'll suddenly give you, like, that's why I like control decks, control against control matchups, because it often comes down to a card-for-card battle, where, you haven't, like, you removed an early game minion, for instance, and you added in a rag. Well, did I remove one of my, mid-game threats to put in a BGH? If I did, we're going to counter each other card for card, otherwise I will fall behind. And I think that's what's really cool about the whole control versus control, and that's why I like control paladin against control warrior so much as well. I just love those fights.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do too. They're quite interesting. But in terms of the meta, dealing with control warrior in the meta aspect, like Zoo gets shit on left and right unless it gets like the god draw. Hunter, it can beat it, but it's got to get the god draw.
Yeah,
but
you gotta get those double kill commands. You gotta get them.
Yeah, so it's very difficult for a lot to go up against. Priest, on the other hand, Priest seems to be able to do a very good job against it.
Priest can do it, but I still, depending on how both are built, and that's what I was saying, like, it depends on how, are you running the 2 Shadow Word Deaths? Are you running 2 Cabals for the Acolytes of Pain and the Armor Smiths? Do you have the cards it takes to remove his? Are you running Mind Control? Mind Control is a huge deal against like Control Warriors. Some decks don't run it, and you'll notice a huge difference in their performance based on that. So it's really, like, it's super dependent on the people and how they build their deck. But yes, I think Priest is one of the stronger classes. Like, of course, if you disregard Control Pally, it's one of the classes that can actually be built to kill Control Warrior. Not necessarily systematically will win, but it definitely can do that.
But now here's the better question. Can it handle the rest of the meta?
Yeah, it generally can because of they've already got Alkanai Soul Priest Circle, they've got their Holy Nova. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Alkanai Circle, but it's used pretty much like super widely. But yeah, it's definitely it can hold itself against pretty much everything. But I feel like it still has. If you're not playing Death Rattle Priest, if you're playing Control Priest, dealing with Zoo, if you don't get those very God drawish cards like Akinai Circle, for instance, it can get a little bit messy for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get on to this. We're actually going to be throwing together a deck here, rather than having a pre-made deck. Mostly because me and you do a ton of theory crafting on our spare time on so many different things.
Yeah, a lot of priests though recently, but
yeah. I've noticed that. It's been like 90% priest. The occasional warrior one pops up here and there and whatever, so.
Yeah. Wallet. The wallet is real.
The wallet is real, yes. Okay. So, this is the standard priest deck that we've been working on. Now, this doesn't use the Circle of Healing. This doesn't use the Akanai. It actually is very interesting. It's got the Acidic Swamp Ooze, which I think is a great tech card for like Warrior and Hunter, and even the occasional Shaman. Yes, not all Shaman players are bots. They still do exist.
They still use Doomhammer. Some of them still have the skill hammer of rock biter weaponry to your face. Yeah, they still use that.
Right. So this was a build we literally threw together, what, yesterday? This morning? Yesterday, yeah. And I actually played this a bit. It was doing really good from rank 5 up, and I really liked it. But we're going to actually do a variation, kind of, sort of this. So we're just going to actually start from the beginning here and just break it down. Because I think players really need to understand the mechanics behind building a deck. Yeah, anybody can go onto like Hearthstone or 2B or wherever, copy a deck, and then try to play it. But do you really understand the fundamentals of it? Do you understand the mechanics of it?
Yeah. It's basically, I mean, to me, the deck that you just showed is it's standard in the way that I think it's standard, but a lot of people would disagree. First of all, you're not running Akanai Soul Priest, right? You're not running Akanai, you're not running Circle, and you're not running Injured Blade Master as a result. No Circle of Healing, probably no Injured Blade Masters either. So that already kind of modifies the way you're going to approach the deck. So instead of running, like if you don't run Akanai and if you don't run Circle, you at least need to be running the Wild Pyromancers and the Silence and the Holy Smite. I feel like you need to have at least one Silence, one Holy Smite, and 2 Wild Pyromancers to counterpoint, right, the fact that you're not running any of the the regular board wipes. So you can already put those in as a given. What was that sound?
Oh, that would be the train that comes by, unfortunately.
Nice.
All right.
That's fine, no problem.
So let's get building here. All right. Yeah. So we're still going to want the Silence. I feel that's really strong, especially with Wild Pyromancer.
You need to have Silence, you need to have Holy Smite if you're not going to run the Alkanai Circle. You're going to have triggers for the Wild Pyromancer more than you even want. So Power Shields are a given as well. As soon as you're playing Priest, you kind of want, Power Shield, Northshire Cleric as mostly a given. I cannot think of a reason why you wouldn't want to play those. So 2 of each is a given, and you can also run, because you're not running Akanai Circle, you need more removal. And another piece of removal that priests have is the Shadow Word Pain, which also triggers with the Wild Pyromancer. It's good against aggro, and it's also pretty good against Warrior. But I take Control Warrior as a primary example, and it doesn't really matter because Shadow Word Pain is usable against the entire field due to the fact that everybody has 2 Sludge Belchers. Like, nobody I haven't seen a deck recently that doesn't have them, outside of like specific Hunter / Zoo aggro that just don't bother with it. But a lot of the mid-range decks will have it.
Well,
so,
one thing I've noticed is, against Zoo, and I've had this happen several times playing variations of this deck. Okay, so they throw out, let's say you get your Wild Pyromancer out. They almost immediately play out Mr. Nerubian Egg. So what I found is, like, Shadow Word Painting it, boom, it turns it into the 4/4 form, then the Wild Pyromancer kicks off, and then I could sack the Pyromancer just to remove it.
Yeah, I mean, there are much better plays, of course. Like,
there are,
get
but
immediate value with like a Silence or a Holy Smite or Powered Shield.
Oh, Silence would be golden.
But there's like the versatility is insane. Basically, there's a reason why Wild Pyro is in Priest. It synergizes with a gazillion things, and that's why you want it. Like, it's obvious. So I do run one Shadow Word Pain. Northside Cleric needs to be put in. It's not there yet. I don't know why. So to me, that's a given with two Shadow Word Deaths, obviously, because you
Obviously,
will
yeah.
need the removal for the late game. Dark Cultist is also a given,
Yeah.
considering the power of the card. It basically just you can't really stop it no matter what you do. So two Shadow Word Deaths, two Dark Cultist. You need to put the deaths in. I don't see them right now. All right. And Sludge Belchers as well. I think those are, as I said, they're staples of the metagame, but they also work very well with Priest. Some people think maybe sometimes Sludge is restricted to Death Rattle Priest, but that's not true at all. I mean, any mid-range deck will need it. I can't think of a better substitute. Sunwalker used to take that spot once in a blue moon, but now it's pretty much gone. And the Cabal Shadow Priest is also, I'd say, mandatory in Priest, at least as a one-of. Personally, because I'm not running the Alchemy and the Circle, I feel like the extra removal, or pseudo removal that the Cabal gives me is also very strong. And it's also amazing against, it's amazing against aggro, but it's also very, very strong against other control decks. Especially since most of what you see right now is Control Warrior. So they lose their Armor Smiths, they lose their Sludge Belcher Slime, possibly, that's everyone. They lose their Acolyte of Pain, their
Which is
Cool
huge.
Taskmaster.
You take the Acolyte, their whole deck falls apart.
Yeah, yes and no. Sometimes you want them to draw to get into fatigue faster, but generally speaking, yeah, the Cabal Shadow Priest is just a powerhouse. And also, Sylvanas Windrunner as a given against, well, in Priest, because of the synergy of Shadow Word Death, and the fact that it gives you a second, you need some threats as Priest, and there are very few of them which are really card efficient, and this is one of the few. So what I like to run on top of this, for the standard deck, right, that we saw just before, Ysera and Mind Control are the additional late-game threats that I like to put. Now, some decks opt against using Mind Control and Ysera, and they will use either or, and instead opt for just having two late-game threats, which they consider Sylvanas and Ysera, or Sylvanas and Mind Control. But I feel like they're missing a bit, against like another control matchup, they're missing just a little bit of power to get in there. So, we saw in the previous deck that we had the Acidic Swamp Ooze, which is a very good tech card against Control Warrior, but you don't need it. It also had, you don't have to put it in, you don't need it. The other card that you don't really need for that deck is the Sen'jin Shieldmaster, which it's very, very strong, don't get me wrong, but it also suffers from the problem of it comes into play and all it does is die one turn from now. I've rarely had a Sen'jin come into play and live. It rarely ever happens. It comes in, it buys you a turn until you can get to turn 5. So what I decided to do for this specific version of the deck is I put in, and I subbed out the Sen'jins for this, and this is a bit awkward, I'm subbing out the Sen'jins for 2 Doomsayers. This is very, very questionable, and I can totally understand the the reticence.
When you suggested this to me, I was like, I don't like that. Everything in my head screamed at me, no!
Yeah, it's
but it works.
Awkward.
But it works though.
It does to an extent. I mean, I'm still not, I'm completely sold on its overall, the fact that it's better, but it's definitely got something to it that I feel is a bit more interesting from a Priest perspective, because it actually, for 4 mana, you could play a Sen'jin and that's it, or you could play Doomsayer and heal yourself, which effectively, either they kill the Doomsayer, mitigating 7 damage from your face, which essentially buys you 7 damage worth of, time, or they don't kill it and everything gets wiped, and it prevents them from playing a minion because, they can't play a minion into Doomsayer, and you also heal yourself. So in effect, Doomsayer either mitigates 7, or 9 rather, since you heal yourself, or it just blows up the board. So in effect, I think it's got a bigger impact than Sen'jin most of the time. But even against aggro.
But what about silence? Because we see a lot of silence in this meta.
Yeah, and that's where the second part of this kind of shenanigan comes in. I run 1 Inner Fire in the deck, not specifically for the Doomsayer, but it's there to make it salvageable because you expect it to get silenced. And the upside of the Inner Fire, as you probably already know, is that you can use that offensively. You can use it with a Cabal Shadow Priest, a Shadow Word Death, a Shadow Word Pain, a Shadow Madness even, which I run 1 of in this deck before I forget. I might as well put that in. So 1 Shadow Madness, like, you've got a lot of tools that can make use of the Inner Fire in the deck, baseline. So what I like to put in as well, instead of the Acidic Swamp Ooze, is I run one Crazed Alchemist. That's the tech card, quote unquote. It's already been played a lot. You know, a lot of priests play Crazed Alchemist. It's not a bad card by any means, but it's a bit kind of out of the box. It's out of the ordinary in that you don't see it every time. It's kind of unusual.
It does allow you to combo kill a Ysera, which I like.
Yeah, I love Inner Fire for that. There's a lot of things you can do with it, and quite frankly, if your Ysera's on board and it's not dead for whatever reason, you turn it into a 12/12. It's happened before. You can get an incredible amount of damage out very, very easily. So in this deck, to just finish up the last 5 cards, generally speaking, you run 3 Thought Steals, and that's fine, but I only run the one because I had to cut a card, and that's going to sound really weird, for the Inner Fire. I had to find a card to cut for Inner Fire, and I cut the Thought Steal. So far, I haven't missed it, but there might come a point where I decide that the Inner Fire is not worth it, and that gets subbed out. The obvious other card that you want in there is Loatheb. A lot of people, realize, this card is just a complete powerhouse, and you'll want it necessarily, but I had to question the inclusion of it. But after running into Druids and Hunters, I decided that this was probably for the better, because I'm afraid of kill commands very often, and not having the kill command loom over my head for an entire turn sometimes gives me, an extra turn to set up my board a bit more. And that's definitely a big deal. So I figured Loatheb was just godlike in that way.
Loatheb is a pause button for the clock, basically.
For us, that's what it is, and we've already got the Doomsayers as pause buttons. Better than Sen'jins in my mind, for pause purposes. Oh, yeah. So in this deck so far, we're looking at a very standard Priest, except we've subbed out a few of the key cards, quote-unquote, and we've moved away from the Sen'jins, put in Doomsayers, and already we're looking at Crazed Alchemist and Inner Fire. We're going to have to put in the Holy Fires as a given, because we still need to be able to remove big threats. Against control matchups, it's necessary. Against stuff like Savannah Highmanes, or, a big buffed up minion on a Zoo Warlock, you're going to have the Holy Fires.
Are we going 1 or 2?
2 of them, guaranteed, all the time. You always want 2. Some people have told me that I have too many 6 drops at this point, but to me, 5 of them is perfectly in the range of normality. And for the last inclusion, I was actually really, really torn because I didn't know what I wanted, and I realized, even because I cut Alkanite Soul Priest, going back to that, because I cut them, I needed another way to deal damage, so I considered Shadow Madness, I considered other removal, but I settled for one single Holy Nova for the extra healing that I get out of it, and the synergy with the Wild Pyromancer and the Northshire Cleric. So that was the end of the deck list. This is a deck called Doomerino Isarino. In a nutshell, that's how I called it. You can call it whatever you want. You can call him Doomsay. And so the deck has a very Priest feel to it, but the Doomsayer adds a little dimension of shenanigans that I think is a lot of fun. And it's actually effective. I mean, I'm not saying it's, rank 1 legend viable, but it's definitely working for ladder.
Right.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I would definitely say that this would catch people off guard and be like, whoa, what the hell is this crap?
Yeah, the surprise factor is a big deal.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so we've done the build. We did the explanation. I think it's about time that we play this on the ladder.
Good luck. Good luck. Let's give it a shot. I don't know what you are at the ladder, but
I'm at 5.
All right, let's do this.
Right.
It could, as I said, this deck is still largely. I've tested it today. I went from, I think I finished from rank 5, streaked like 7 games in a row, to rank 4, 3 stars, some such thing. So it did pretty well. So you can go ahead and queue up. We're going to try to see what we get. It's pretty awkward. It can feel pretty awkward to play. Right. It's very, very control heavy.
But it's kind of a fun deck, though. It is a kind of fun deck.
It's fun. Yeah, it's the most fun I've had with Priest in a long time. I mean, the Wild Power shenanigans are cool, but the Doomsayer brings a whole other dimension of the opponent just pausing and going, "Wait, what? What just happened?" All right, this is good. This is a really good matchup. So obviously you're gonna keep that Doomsayer. I don't think I have to mention that. Ysera and Cabal Shadow Priest obviously go out. They're too late game. Shadow Madness, on the other hand, I'm a little ambivalent about, but I realized that we need Wild Pyromancers, we need the Shadow Word Pain, Holy Smite, Silence, any kind of stuff that does that, so we could use the Shadow Madness here, and I wouldn't miss it too much. You could actually get rid of it.
Alright.
If we can get Northshire Clerics, it's going to be even better, so hopefully we get something we need. I'll take a Power Shield. you know, we're gonna get the Wild Pyro, obviously, because that's the way we roll.
Right.
Now you're gonna have to bring out your dead. Oh, you didn't. Okay. Alright, that's cool. Easy peasy. End turn.
Yeah.
No Doomsayer on turn 2. On turn 1, that's for sure. Guaranteed thing. Alright. The Haunted Creeper is real.
I don't like Haunted Creeper.
I don't mind it. He cannot Houndmaster just yet, right?
Right.
So at best, what he does next turn is something like Animal Companion-ish kind of a play. You could drop the Doomsayer here, but I feel like you're going to be one turn off. So what you're going to want to do is just pass a turn here. And next turn, I believe Doomsayer is a good play, because you can coin out Holy Nova on the turn after that.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's a bit awkward. This is... So, do we expect the Houndmaster? Do we expect... Alright, just play this. This is definitely a play. Because if he Houndmasters the 1-2, it becomes a 3-4, which means it still does not kill the Dark Cultist. And if he actually wastes it or trades it away, then it dies to Holy Nova.
Right. See, this is what I was expecting him to do.
Just a freezing trap?
Yep.
Okay, well that's fine, I guess. It's pretty standard. Do you just like... I like to just play Northshire Cleric, Power Word Shield her, and then heal yourself up. And you don't trigger the trap yet, because he's not going to use it up. Right. He's definitely not using his bow this turn, so you just get a bit of extra value out of this. And that way, whatever dies, you've still got value out of it. That's it. And you're buying yourself a bit of time by healing up, and then you pass turn. I'd rather return Northshire 99% of the time.
Oh yeah.
See, it's pretty obvious, but some people might not be inclined to do that. And he Hunter's Marks it. All right.
Wow.
Yep. There we go. Value Hunter's Mark. The value is real.
The value is real.
Alright, so we know that this is obviously a freezing trap. Now we have to consider playing or attacking into it and just replaying the Dark Cultist naked. However, this kind of... Oh, I feel like Lothib is definitely a good play here.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the Lothib is definitely a thing. I don't know if I used a Cultist just yet. I don't think I... Oh, that is really... Yeah, don't use the Cultist, because you're going to give him a charge on the bow. And that is not good. That is not something you want to do. Alright, Savannah Hyamane could be coming down anytime soon. Alright, he finally uses the last bow charge, which indicates that he probably has another one in hand. And now you're going to get a really good Holy Nova. He might Deadly Shot. I don't know if he runs that. It's kind of unlikely, but it's been seen. So I wouldn't discount it. Alright. So what I'm thinking right now... Oh, well... Yeah, you're gonna have to Holy Nova this turn, that's a given thing. What we need to know, though, is what this trap is. I'm guessing it's Freezing Trap.
Well, he already had the freeze... Well...
Okay, so an Explosive Trap added to the mix, right?
It could be it could be freezing, it could be...
Snake, right?
Snake. Yeah. Problem is, if we attack, we give him 3, that's a huge bonus.
Well, we give him 4, actually.
Well, that all depends. If it's freezing and explosive, then we give him 4. If it's freezing and snake, we only give him 1.
Yeah, which is a big deal anyway. Okay, so we could replay Lothib for 8 next turn, right? Theoretically?
Yes.
Okay, you could try that. Worst case scenario, you know what we do? We play Doomsayer, coin, Holy Fire on a Savannah Hyamane. If things go awfully wrong, which they might at this point. He's gotten incredible value out of us.
So should we attack?
Yeah, we should attack. This is the only turn we're going to be able to trigger this without too much of a pain. Alright, so we knew that was going to happen. It's really unfortunate that he had 2 bows this early.
Explosive motherfucker.
Alright, we're pretty much
screwed.
Dead here. Yeah, just end turn. And next turn what you do is you drop Doomsayer as a given, I believe. With a Holy Fire to something, whatever it is. Alright, this is a good turn for the Holy Fire. I do think so. This is as good as it's gonna get. Because we haven't been... If we find a Shadow Madness, that would be even better. Alright, just Doomsayer, coin, Holy Fire, on the sludge. This looks like very low value, but what it does is it stalls him playing any minion, right? Right. He cannot play anything here. It's completely out of question. There's no way he plays anything on this board. It simply isn't worth it. So he might just pass, hit us for, you know, a gazillion damage, as they usually do. But since we have the second Holy Fire, I think we could be able to salvage this. Now this is getting a bit ridiculous, honestly. This is getting absolutely ridiculous, actually.
I kind of feel we need to Thought Steal to go grab a flare.
Oh, that would be good. I don't know if he runs two. He's already played one. You can give it a shot. Otherwise, my alternative was Lotheb. As a board, you know what? You could play. Could you play Sylvanas ever?
I could.
Let me see Holy Fire for a second. Does it? Can it target your own stuff? I believe it can, right? It's not just enemies.
Yes.
So if you play Sylvanas and heal yourself, right?
Yeah.
If you play Sylvana Hyamane, you can kill your own Sylvanas and steal his thing. In the worst case scenario, and it buys you a little bit of time because you need to heal yourself every turn.
Exactly. Because this is Hunter, and I didn't want to go low with it because then I have no heal.
Yeah, as soon as his bow is on one charge, we're gonna have a little bit of respite for at least one turn or two.
Alright,
oh,
that kind of sucked.
Okay, so yeah, I think we've lost this game quite frankly. We're gonna have to Holy Fire own Sylv right now, but we can't do it because we got Lothebs. This looks like a case of. Well, I mean, how dead are we? Can we play Lotheb? Okay, Lotheb and heal yourself. How's that? Go ahead. You prevent kill commands, you prevent any kind of nasty, you know, really big play, and you get to probably... No, don't attack. You're gonna get returned to your hand. You want to get her to die to steal something.
Right.
If you want to return something, it's gonna have to be Lotheb.
Though there was another play I was looking at that could have been interesting, but it would have used up all our mana and we wouldn't have been able to heal.
No, that was bad. You can't afford it. You genuinely cannot.
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. There's no way you can do this. You have to deny him any kind of ability to lethal you. And with the Holy Fire, because we played Lotheb, we bought ourselves one turn, which might just be enough to live.
Then again, he could have King Crush sitting in his hand.
Oh, yeah, he might. But, I mean, who plays King Crush, really? Alright, so I think this is the point where we play Holy Fire on the Lotheb.
Right.
And we don't attack just yet. I don't know if there's any value to it, because all we give him is, like, extra value from his hero power.
Right.
From the bow. Because until we find Sludge Belchers, this is not an option. Right? Until we find Sludge Belchers, attacking into traps is not an option. So we Holy Fire this. I heal myself here if I'm you. Pretty much all day, every day. And I believe I
would pass, because if we put out a third minion, then Unleash the Hounds becomes a real problem.
I doubt he plays Unleash the Hounds. I really doubt it, considering he hasn't shown any Snake Trap. I mean, he might have them, but I wouldn't know. I think at this point you have to pass. It's one of the most awkward plays ever. But next turn we can still get Lotheb value out of this. Alright, so this is a good turn for Wild Pyromancer, I believe. This is a great turn for Wild Pyromancer.
I kind of feel like
Cabal?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't know about the Cabal. I like the Sludge Belcher play a bit more, where you go Wild Pyromancer first. So here's the deal: you go Wild Pyromancer, first thing first. Then you Holy Smite the face to trigger both guys dying. Then you play the Sludge and you heal yourself. You're still safe. You're behind a taunt, and you're back at 14 health. And you can trigger the traps next turn. Or you could do it now if you feel like it, but I don't think it's yet the time.
No.
Right now he still has to deal with your board, and you can still Thought Steal the Flare. It's not over yet.
Right. Unless it's in his hand, and then...
Of course, but then, you know, life happens, Hearthstone happens, that's just a thing. This deck doesn't necessarily win against Hunters, but I feel like it's very highly favored.
Kind of miss...
right now...
I'm kind of missing that Acidic Swamp Ooze right now, man, let me tell you.
Well, of course, it's a given. That's the thing. I play Crazed Dalk, but you don't necessarily need it. Alright, so Sylvana Hyamane, there we go. Interesting card. Kill command, YOLO, win. This is gonna have to be dealt with. The good thing is we have a Sylvanas to steal one of the 2/2s, and then the Cabal can take care of that.
Problem is he still has those 2 secrets, so we're gonna play around that.
No, that's fine. We're gonna give him the secrets. We're gonna trigger the secrets. One of them next turn. We're definitely...
Probably both, actually, because I guarantee there's a Snake Trap in there.
If there's a Snake Trap, what you do is you attack the Hyamane with Lotheb. The first step you have to make here is to do that.
Alright.
Now the best thing to find here would be Shadow Madness. Alright, so let me think. We could, theoretically, we're gonna lose the wild power in the process if we do that, if we don't heal ourselves. What we could do is heal ourselves, and then don't do it yet. Okay.
Alright.
I was talking hypotheticals.
Okay, okay.
But now we're all in. So just attack the Savannah High Main with a 5-4. We're super all in. Freezing Trap is my expectation. Okay.
Alright.
That shouldn't have been done. We
And actually,
yeah, that's why I wanted to try not to heal ourselves first, because now we need more than ever. So what you're gonna do is you're going to this is so bad, man.
yeah, it is.
This is really bad. We should not have done this. We should not. Okay, do you want to Cabal the Okay, Cabal the mad scientist. Cabal the mad scientist. You need to do this now. There's no other way. You need to get it out of the way for now. Now you can inner fire your sludge belcher. Oh, you should have attacked face with the wild pyro.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's fine. Just attack into the 5-4, the 6-4, sorry, with the Sylvanas. Go, 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 go. And then attack one of the 2-2s that's gonna spawn. Go, go, go. You can do this. You can do this. No! The other one? Yes! Alright. Done it. So we missed out on 3 damage because we didn't have time to attack face.
Right.
Healing yourself there was a bad play, basically. I was talking hypotheticals. We shouldn't have done that.
I kind of disagree.
We should not have.
I kind of disagree because we have yet to see a single kill command.
Yeah, I know that, but we could have killed that 2-2 instead. Is what I'm saying. Like, we did not have to lose the wild pyro. Alright, so now we do have to Thought Steal. I believe now is just the only time where we can afford doing so. Unleash the Hounds would be a great pickup, but I'll take anything.
Unleash the Hounds? Yeah.
Well, that'll help, I think. Let me think. 3, so that'll kill. Unleash. We need to get rid of the beast, right?
Right.
So the first thing we have to play the Unleash. Okay, let's do that, I guess. Unleash the Hounds. So let's just kill that guy there. Yeah, smack the mad scientist into it. Whatever, it doesn't really matter in which order you do it. So you have to attack the sludge, yada yada.
Obey.
And then we can play web spinner and heal ourselves. You have to waste away that Unleash the Hounds, by the way, to make sure that he doesn't get a bigger Unleash. So you lose that Hound. He's gonna get good value out of that slime, but that's the most we can do.
Right.
Oh man, that wild power healing ourselves there was it was a waste of 2 mana.
I think you might have been right.
Yeah, it was a waste of 2. We shouldn't have done it.
But at the same time, I'm looking at the whole of this is Hunter. You always worry about it.
I know what you're looking for, and I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. All right. We have to mitigate the damage from Lepernome. So first thing you do is you attack the Huntmaster with a 1/1. Maybe we find something, I don't know, something useful like an Iron Fur Grizzly. Okay, no, we can't play that. That's gonna kill us.
Actually, we're dead next turn anyway.
Yep, yeah, we should have. If we killed that hyena.
We were dead either way. We were dead either way.
Killing that hyena would have prevented the 4-3 from killing us, and we would be fine right now. But now we're dead.
Yeah. We were dead either way, to be perfectly honest with you, the way this laid out, but you are correct.
I don't think we were dead, no. We actually had a taunt up at the end. We were fine.
Hold on.
But that's okay anyway.
Yeah.
We would have been okay, man, I swear to God. It was fine. The heal was really... I should not say we should or we could.
Yeah, because we're on a time... We're on a timer here, Nox, you know?
Yeah, I know, but I still... that was an unfortunate loss. I don't think... That's not a matchup we should be losing.
No, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have.
Not in this way, at least.
But it wasn't the standardized build, though.
Yeah, it was. It very much was. The only thing I wasn't sure if he was running was Unleash.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I wasn't sure he was running. It's like the only doubt I had.
Yeah, because you don't normally see the High Main and the Unleash these days.
They're in somewhat different decks.
Well, hey, look, we get a chance to redeem ourselves.
Alright, get some Northshire Clerics up in here. Or not.
Or, okay, there we go.
Begin.
Alright, let's do this.
I don't know, it's been buggy lately.
Alright, back to the deck, all of you. There's many outs for our early game. That is not one of them. Alright, if this is actually going to be a... Yeah, no, please. Please, God. We don't even have the coin. Like, that's how bad this is.
It is. It really is. So we're really top deck reliant right now.
Yeah, that's all we have to do. We have to just get Shadow Word Pain or...
I got a feeling Ysera is never going to come out.
I can't believe we have Ysera in our starting hand after mulliganing 3 high drops. Alright, that is fine. That's a fine card to get.
Alright.
That's a fun card to get. You can play it on turn 3 with Powered Shield and it's perfectly acceptable. You can nerf a Leopard name down to 1-2. It's okay. Now, if he tells you to bring out your dead, your answer is no, officer, I don't have to. Alright, that's a great... Alright, wow. Okay, just pass here. We can always Doomsday next turn, right?
Exactly.
There is no hurry here.
Which he could go to coin...
Animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Which Huffer would suck for us, but...
No, you just play, well, then again, you have to waste the Doomsayer for that. Although you do deny the aggression on the following turn. Alright, this is definitely
Doomsayer turn.
If I've ever seen one. Well, maybe not after all. Wait, think about it. Is it really a Doomsayer turn?
Well, let's think about this. We can flip it and then throw this on it, and either way... But then he has to play a Death Rattle, because that's the only reason why he playing it this late.
Yeah, that's fine. Then you can Doomsday. I think you flip it and then you... actually, you could wait one more turn, right?
Yeah, I can wait one more.
We can afford waiting one turn. Let's try that out. I feel like it might seem a bit greedy, but I think it's worth it. I
mean, we can recoup our loss very easily. Yeah. But at the same time...
Doomsayer doesn't get silenced, but
right.
That's another thing. Or Hunter's Marked, yada yada. Alright, this is... it's interesting the way he's not actually playing any Death Rattles here. A little puzzled. I'm tempted to Doomsday.
I think we have to Doomsday.
Force or removal, go ahead. That's it. You force him to expand cards on this. Heal yourself, there's nothing else to do. The Undertaker is unlikely to get buffed beyond 3 attack this turn, so we can always Shadow Word Pain it. If he wants to remove this,
he could use his kill command, which would be great for us.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. But I mean, I doubt he'll do it.
Or he could, do the bow.
I was gonna say, bow is definitely a much more likely play here. So we mitigated 7 damage to the face, which, quite frankly, is fine by me.
Unfortunately, he's still building his board, though.
Of course, that's what they do. We had the worst possible starting hand I've ever seen. One of the worst.
I think Sludge is the only thing we can do.
This is really terrible. Yeah, we have to. It's just a terrible play, though. But, yeah. It's terrible because it doesn't actually solve anything.
It doesn't. We are behind so badly right now.
Well, I mean, kill command plus a death rattle, I guess. Wild Pyromancer would win this game.
Wild Pyromancer, yeah.
Is, right? That's how silly this is. We've got a good hand, but the problem is we got crap at the start. We got offered 6 drops, like a 9 drop, a Shadow Word Death, which is irrelevant up until now. So there's very little to be done here. Like, we're gonna have to Shadow Word Pain that Undertaker before things spiral out of complete control.
Right.
Really? Does he really have 2 bows in starting hand? That's a bit idiotic. Okay, you have to Shadow Word Pain this. Alright, now what you do is you're gonna flip the Lepronome over with the Crazed Alk. And you're gonna double Powered Shield. Well, just do it once at least. 1 Powered Shield in your Cool Task. See what we get. Alright, that's gonna help for next turn, guaranteed. Now, I think you Powered Shield again to make sure that you can use this guy as a 2 damage buffer to finish off a minion. If Houndmaster comes down, we can Shadow Word Death and Shadow Word Pain, Shadow Madness on the same turn. However, this is arguably one of the most disgusting... this is obviously one of the most disgusting openers I've seen. Look at what he's got.
I know.
There's got to be another bow, a trap, something just terrible. Okay, so we have to assume that this is Freezing Trap. And what do we do if it is? I mean,
I say we grab this and try to throw it into that.
Yeah. Oh crap. Okay. Well, yeah. Try it. I guess. I don't think it's gonna work out in the end, but
Well, I
I'll
mean,
be
we
good.
already lost.
Yeah, we already lost because of the starting hand. Honestly, nothing
Yeah.
else is responsible for this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So heal yourself and attack into that Misha. And there's nothing you can do. Holy Nova is not even a saving grace. He can just say well played.
Yeah, he could.
This is disgusting. When you think about the amount of options that we've got in the early game, this is just nasty. We shouldn't be losing to that.
Well, you
My
know.
win rate against Hunters is upwards of like 70%. And I think it's pretty understandable why.
Yeah.
This deck just has the tools, just like Akanai does.
But bad
but
hands do happen. Bad hands happen.
Somehow. Alright, so we're fine. Except not really. Oh, wait. Does that help us? Well, it does help us. Alright, try to kill that Misha with that. Well, yeah, kill Misha with that. No matter what we do, we have to kill Misha with this. Okay. Now try to kill the, I don't want to kill Leper Gnome just yet. Because we can always get a value out of it with Cabal. I think we kill the Web Spinner.
Don't rush me.
Alright, now heal yourself. And I think we're good to go. We might live. We might live. A very, you know, a wild power method that comes on time could help a bit.
I don't know, man. We're so far behind.
I know, I haven't said the opposite. If a wild power comes out, though, we're in a position... Oh, is he gonna trade? Please don't. He's not losing out on the 2 damage. I was hoping he might. He didn't. We need another Holy Fire here. A Silence.
That actually could.
Silence, Shadow
Yeah.
of Death, that's a given. And then I think we have to steal that, that one too. Because that way we avoid the Shadow Word, the Kill Command lethal. Well, we don't really, because
Yeah, we
dead
still
to Kill
we'll
Command.
still lose, but it won't be as epic.
Yeah, okay. Okay, if he plays a Sludge Belcher, we mind control it.
Problem
There's
is, that is a
Explosive, I don't care about
Yeah.
explosive for now. Don't trigger it. You're not triggering it. End of story. There's no arguing that. We already know that much. You already know not to trigger that. Oh, Huffer. Hello, Huffer.
GG.
How skilled are you, bro? How much skill can you shove in a single card, yo? There it is. Well, that's unfortunate. 2 losses to a very favorable matchup. Just try again. That's really, really, really unfortunate. Well, no Wild Pyromancer says goodbye, I think.
Yeah, it really does.
I'm actually surprised we lost to that the first Hunter. I really thought we could get that game. I really did think we could get that game, and then something like the Wild Pyromancer heal on your face as opposed to healing the minion itself, I think lost us the game. Because I called something out that shouldn't have been done. And that definitely wasn't the right play.
No, it wasn't. But, you know, that's kind of what happens. That's the one thing. Win or lose, a deck is always going to perform differently, all right? You're going to get losses. It's good to see where your deck has discrepancies and where you need to look for.
I know them, right? I know this.
I know you do, but this is for the people.
I know the bad win rate.
This is for the people, not just us.
But they understand. I mean, I think they do, because the deck itself has all the tools that priests have, right? All priests are running... Well, not all, but you know, the old classic control priest with wild pyros and shit. You know how it goes. It just wins against Zoo in general because it wipes the board.
And we didn't get a single bit of it.
No, not a single bit of the board wipes. We got the perfectly denied Doomsayers. Yeah, I guess Hearthstone happens. And Huffer happens.
Yeah.
Huffer happens.
But then again, if you look at the deck from like 3 or below, matter of fact, I'll bring it up right now. You look at the deck at 3 or below, it's like 16 cards if I remember correctly, maybe more. Maybe
Half
less.
the deck is very low curve, yeah. No, we haven't found a single Northshire Cleric in all those games. Well, in all those games, those 2 games.
Yeah. So it's 18 cards is 3 or lower. That's a good amount of your deck, and yet what we ended up getting was the 4 to 7 almost consistently.
Yeah, we got Mind Control, you know, Ysera, Sylvanas, Cabal Shadow Priest. But I think the most important part is learning to time the Doomsayer with the deck, regardless of whatever you do. The proper thing is to time the Doomsayer, not necessarily with already the board is full, but when you expect it to be full and you want to force them to deal or to delay their tempo. Like you play on turn 4 and you have a turn 5 sludge, you know that they have to wipe the board on turn 4 and then you have a clear time to play sludge, and that's great.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's one of those key things you have to do with the deck to make it like super efficient.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen, so just keep that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is Hearthstone. It will bite you. RNGesus is a bastard.
He
All
is.
praise RNGesus.
I can attest.
Yes. All right, so moving along. So if you'd like to check out Noxious, his Twitter is twitter.com/COL_Noxious, Twitch TV/Noxious_HS, YouTube, blah, 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 Noxious Hearthstone.
That's what it is.
And now, Noxious, you're a part of what team? Just so we can promote that?
I'm on Complexity as a feature streamer / personality, yeah. Not on the pro team. So I'm probably not going to be attending tournaments under their flag or banner, but definitely a part of the organization.
Unless the tournament specifically invites you, and then...
Of course.
Yes, like WCA.
Yeah.
We're not even going to get into those shenanigans. All right. All right. Okay, so, that was interesting. There's a lot of different ways you could actually play this meta and interpret it and look against it. Now, we went up against Hunter.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's a really good matchup, though. So
it is, but this is actually one of those things where, we adapted in order to kind of generalize ourselves to be a little bit more better against something, and we ended up taking out a tool that could have really saved our ass.
Yep.
But the likelihood of us getting it, like with everything else, was like...
Yeah, Crazed Alchemist swapped in for the Ooze. I think that's the adaptation you're talking about, which is a super, it's a super heavy meta call, I guess. But the thing is, with Hunter being so prevalent, I guess you could always find a use for this guy. Do you prefer the gimmick of the Crazed Alch with its versatility? Because you can do a lot of stuff with it. Or do you just want the aesthetic? Or, here's what you can do. Ditch the Inner Fire, put in Aesthetic Swamp Ooze.
That might actually be good, because the Inner Fire does actually have some options. Like, if you can get to your late game and have your Sarah, boom, that's 12 to the face.
Yeah, so does the Crazed Alch, though, because it swaps his Sarah to a 12-4. So it kind of has the same purpose.
It does. It really does. But I kind of feel like the Inner Fire is less needed.
It is much less needed.
So I would probably say that the Acidic Swamp Ooze would have been a better choice in there.
I agree. You know why? Because I love the thing.
And I do believe I kind of pointed that out on your stream repeatedly.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Watching.
Yes, I did.
I must have not heard.
Yeah, like mine is the only comments you never acknowledge. You acknowledge everybody else at the 1,000. I was like, oh shit, fuck off.
I never even saw your things. Oh, glorious. But yeah, I think Inner Fire out, the Aesthetic Swamp Ooze in would be a good thing, because it works against Control Warrior, works against Paladin True Silvers, works against Shaman Doomhammer. There's a lot of things it does. So
right, and we're talking. You want it to be able to handle the aggro. I mean, you don't want it to dominate the aggro, because then it gets its ass kicked by Control. But you also want it to be able to kind of handle against the Control as well. Now, it's like a baseline average deck, which means it doesn't excel in one direction or the other, but it gives you options all around.
Yeah, it actually does, because the initial priest that you showed was perfectly balanced. That was what I called the perfectly balanced priest that doesn't have any super blind spot. Are
you kidding me? I take that priest to bed with me every night because it's just that I love it so much.
It's like Control Warrior in a way, because it's like 52 to 55% against the entire field.
It really is.
If you played properly, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this Doomsayer thing is just a twist on that, and it's a little bit more fun. And I think the removal of the Ooze might have played a big role in, obviously it did. Do you know what killed us? Both these games were bows. The first game was lost to the bow, single-handedly.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing else in that game dealt damage outside of, 16 charges of Eagle Horn Bow. So that alone would have been a big deal.
Mind you, he was also playing more secrets than I'm used to seeing a Hunter play. I mean,
he played 4. I mean, how do you get 2 bows and 4 secrets in your first 12 cards?
He played 5.
You played the gazillion, so it's not like
he had both freezings, both explosives, and the snake trap.
Very inconsiderate too to play the flare that you can't thought steal. I'm not very. Yeah, that's very inconsiderate of him. I'm not. I'm not a big.
No,
like,
that's actually a smart play. That's like one of the things that hunters think about. Is like, oh shit, it's a priest. Now, let me get this flare out of my hand now.
He starts with it. He's like, I don't really want to keep this, but it's a priest. I'll keep it.
I mean, having it in your hand is fine, but you want to get both of them out of your deck as quick as possible because priest.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I do like the way. Honestly, the first game I thought we were supposed to win. A better start would have done like wonders for us. We were really, really far behind, but I think we could have salvaged it.
We were in salvage mode. I don't even think the misplay would have mattered all that much. I mean, the 3 damage we would have done to the face wouldn't have affected all that much. Yes, we still...
No, that's not what I mean.
Oh.
What we did is we healed ourselves when the pyro was on 1 health.
Oh.
We could have healed the pyro, kept it alive so that it killed the hyena that remained.
I see, and thus
And then he had nothing.
Right.
Clear board again. So that's what I was going after, but it didn't work out. But that's just the way. I made a bad call, and because you were on a timer, we had to rush to play.
Oh yeah.
But I think honestly that game could have been won. But the second one was definitely just like, hey, what's up? 17 top like curve. What?
Oh yeah.
What do?
Yeah. What do you do at that point? It's like. It's just the way it is. But anyway, so thank you for coming on. I always appreciate having you on. It's always a great time. If you'd like these videos, please like, subscribe, whatever. Check out my Patreon campaign. Send me your monies. I'm broke. Anywho, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, so also check out Noxious. Lots of new things. We should be having the new season starting up here very soon. Any predictions on that? What's going to be running it?
I don't know. I think Priest is still going to be very strong. Control Warrior might be a super huge contender because people want to run it still. They've realized that it's one of the best decks in the meta if you play it properly. The thing is, you can actually build decks that hard counter it. So I wonder, like, based on how heavy the Warrior meta is. I don't know if we'll see any like heavy anti-warrior control adaptations. Like, is control paladin going to be a thing? I still don't know, but I think priest and warrior are still going to be seen all over the place with hunter.
Right.
Those are like my 3 big calls, but that's pretty obvious for anyone.
As long as people
Possibly
keep
shaman.
As long as people keep going hardcore with hunter, I think warrior is going to always remain.
Of course it will. Well, it's always a threat.
As
soon as hunters come back, warrior says, "Let me just sneak in there."
Yeah. Alrighty. So anyway. Thank you so much. This is Shiv saying bye-bye.
Peace out.